What's going on, everybody? It is Hunter here, and we are back with BoogiePod episode 36. 36 BoogiePods, man, I tell you. I know I say this like every time, but it's crazy how many we've done now. But at the same time, it feels like we've kind of done more, too. It's weird. It all started with like 5 people, and now it's been me and you for like the last 20 of them. Either way, we got to start getting more guests. We need to mix it up. We need to ask one person to come on a different time. We need to start doing that. That'd be cool. Anyways, regardless. How was your week, Jake?
Pretty good.
Yep,
Pretty good.
Mine was too. Wasn't much sports going on this past week. Some big series for our favorite teams, kind of, I guess. But, well, for my favorite team. You guys, I think, played the Reds. I think the Braves played the Reds, right? Or somebody like that. Who'd you guys play? Who'd the Braves play this week?
We played the Nationals and the Cardinals. And I think we played the Reds earlier, like last weekend.
Okay. So, decent. The Cardinals' big series. Yeah,
3-1.
Yeah, there you go. Easy dub. We played the Yankees. Big split. Big split for the Boston Red Sox. We love it. But, I mean, we might as well kick it off. No college baseball news. No college basketball news. So that leads us right into college football. And, well, I'm going to bring up something, and it's going to lead in. We are going to predict our Power 5 preseason winners for each Power 5 conference going into this season. We're going to do that, but I'm going to hit you with an interesting fact real fast, and I want to hit your thoughts on it. Baylor, for the first time, and I believe in history, if I'm not wrong, I think it's history if I read it right, is being picked to win the Big 12 by the media polls. First time in history. That's a big deal. Big deal, and that's kind of a sleeper pick by the media polls, too. You think they go Oklahoma, Texas, but they're going Baylor. You gotta give them respect. That's interesting to me. I thought that was really interesting. But I mean, what's your thoughts about that?
That is kind of shocking because how much like big media like ESPN is trying to love Texas this year.
Yeah,
they were all in on Texas making the playoff this year when they first started talking about it. So that is pretty surprising. It's also really surprising they've never been picked to win it before like that though, ever.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That is crazy. I don't think they have been in the Big 12 for all that long as some of the other teams have though. So yeah, they're kind of a smaller school, so maybe that's why. Cameron said, "Go Yanks." LOL. No, not go Yanks. Go Red Sox. Yankees are overrated. Just kidding. They're pretty good, but still, y'all are probably cheating because Matt Carpenter hits really good. All right. But let's go into our preseason Power 5 picks. We'll start with the ACC. I'm gonna pick first, and you know who I'm going with.
I'll never be able to guess.
No. Surely not Clemson. If I could take off my background right now and move my green screen behind me, you're gonna see Clemson stuff. If I can move my camera to the left, you're gonna see a big Clemson thing that hovers over. Go Tigers! They're winning it this year, and I'm not picking my national champion yet, but they're probably gonna be in the championship. All right, listen, everyone's sleeping on the Tigers this year. Okay, last year I didn't pick them to win it all. Okay, I didn't pick them to win it all last year, so I'm not completely biased. But I'm telling you, they're going to have a bounce back year this year. They're going to have a bounce back. The only question mark I think Clemson has on their whole team, the only question mark, is quarterback. And I think wide receiver is a smidge question mark, but really it should be okay. It's quarterback play. It's quarterback play. That's the question mark they have. And that's a big question mark to have, I get it. But, yeah. I mean, Jake, who's Miami's quarterback right now? Exactly. Who's in state?
Wait. I don't know. Yeah,
who's NC State's quarterback right now?
I know his name, but I can't remember it.
Okay. Who's North Carolina's quarterback?
I have no idea about North Carolina.
There you go.
I know Wake Forest quarterback, Sam Hartman, I think. But
yeah, but who's their top wide receiver? Okay, so
to be fair, I don't know Clemson's top wide receiver either, though. So
well, yeah, look who he had thrown to him last year. Probably couldn't make a name for himself.
True.
So go Clemson. I think they're gonna win. And I think they're going to be in the playoffs, which we're not making playoffs, so if we're just going by ACC right now, I think they're going to win the ACC. I don't think they'll have much resistance. I don't think it'll be as close as some people are predicting it to be, but could be shocked. Go ahead, Jake.
Okay, so part of me really wants to take NC State, but I cannot trust them.
Nope.
Because Clemson standards, had a down year last year, and NC State barely won still. Like, it took a lot out of them to win that game. And you got to go
NC State, too.
You have to go through Clemson right now to win the ACC, pretty much. So I'm going to take Clemson, but that does not mean I think they're going to go to the playoff, though. because I think they have a good enough team around whatever quarterback they have to win the ACC because they're loaded. They are. They're like defense might be the best this year.
Yeah.
Like I think Georgia had too many people graduate and move on to the NFL.
Yeah.
So, and I think the running back, like Will Shipley's too, he might be the best running back in the country in the next 2 years. He's really, really good. We watched him live, like in person, carry them to a win against Wake Forest. So I'm going to go Clemson. I think it might be close, though.
Mm-hmm.
Wake Forest could challenge, maybe NC State even, but you guys will probably beat them both, so that'll be where that ends.
Yeah. And also, I think another big reason on why Clemson, I don't really have it all that close, is they get Miami and NC State at the hardest stadium to play at in the country. So, I mean,
debatably, yeah.
I'll just say I've thrown it out there. It's bad matchups for Miami and NC State. I do think, unless Clemson's class just obliterates teams this year, I do think next year would be the year to get them. I just think this year, I think people are jumping the gun too much because of the schedule.
Yeah.
I think the schedule favors Clemson a lot. I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, there's very few teams. You're going to have to be significantly better than Clemson to walk into Clemson and beat them.
That's true. Yeah.
So, I mean, Wake Forest was either the same as Clemson last year or maybe even a little better. And Clemson just obliterated them at home. It's something about the crowd. It's awful when you go to Clemson. We got some comments here. Cameron said not too long ago, Yankees were saying Matt Carpenter is the life of the team, and then he also said go Clemson. I agree, go Clemson. Matt Carpenter is the best player on that team. Jada said happy day late National Capybara Day, Jake. Happy Capybara
Day. We missed it. Oh well.
Yeah, I'm just playing about Matt Carpenter being the best on that team, by the way. That's just a joke.
He is cheating, though.
He is. Yeah, Yankees are big cheaters. All right, moving on. UFC stuff. RDA versus Rafael Fiziev went on this past weekend. Oh.
Wait. Are we only picking one? I thought we were picking all Power 5.
Dude, I just forgot about all the other conferences.
Yeah,
that's
bad.
Like,
that's only ACC. One more.
It's the only conference that matters.
I got you. I'm paying attention.
I'm glad. That's all I keep you around. Okay. All right, well, let's move on to the SEC. I literally have them all on my paper. I just completely skipped over them. Okay, SEC. Okay. You want to go first? That's your conference.
Yeah, I'm going to go Alabama.
Go in Alabama, easily.
Another Bryce Young year. This is
okay.
Coming off a Heisman year. Georgia is not going to do it. I think Georgia's going to be overrated. I still think they'll win the East.
Yeah.
Because the East is they're up and coming. There's a lot of like South Carolina, Tennessee's up and coming. Those two are kind of the same. Kentucky's frauds. Florida's going to suck. Georgia's going to win it.
Yeah.
The East. But Alabama's still going to reign supreme in the SEC for another year.
Okay. Yeah, I got a hot take here, a little bit. Maybe a smidge hot take.
A&M?
No, I'm not going to A&M.
Smell it.
No, okay. I'm going Georgia, actually. Okay. I think, and the reason why I'm going Georgia has nothing to do with last year. I think I'm going to trust their defense. I think they finally won, and I think that's all it took was them to win now. They beat them. They beat Alabama. They got the hump off their back. They don't have to play Alabama this year. And I think Alabama's going to have 1 or 2 losses in the regular season because of how hard their schedule is ridiculous, man. It's such bad matchups. They play all the good teams away. I think they could lose week 1.
Yeah,
they're going to be favored by double digits, but they could lose. There's so much unknown about that Texas team. And I feel bad for Alabama because I think they're the best team in the SEC. And if they get through that gauntlet, good for them. I think they'll win the SEC, obviously, because I think they're debatably probably best or second best team in the country. But I got Alabama probably missing the playoffs this year. I just don't see I don't see how they're going to get past what they got to get past without getting 1 or 2 losses.
They have a really hard schedule.
I don't see how they're going to do it. They go on. They get Texas A&M at home. Good for them. I think they play on the road at LSU, on the road at Tennessee. It's just, man.
They play Ole Miss on the road, I think, too, this year. I believe. That's rough.
And then that doesn't include Texas Hal Conference. That also doesn't include all the other SEC schools that they're going to bring in that are going to be home or away. And I just don't see how they're going to be able to get past all that. If there's a team who can get past all of it, by all means, it's Alabama. So it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah.
And Georgia has a really easy schedule this year compared to what they usually have. So I think they're going to mollywop. They get Tennessee at home. That's probably going to be their toughest game, probably, besides maybe a couple. So
Tennessee shows up, that'll probably be their toughest game.
Yeah. So, so I think Georgia has a chance to go undefeated and not be a top 4 team in the country.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. So I'm going to go Georgia wins the SEC, and then I think they'll play a 2-loss team or a 1-loss team in the SEC championship. That's not going to be Alabama. I think it'll be a team that upsets Alabama and then sneaks up there and gets it. So that's what I'm going with. All right, moving on. Pac-12. I'll start. All year, I've been hyped on USC. Said Lincoln Riley's going to get done. All that good stuff. But I got another say a hot take. But I'm going to go different. I'm not going to go USC. I'm going to go Oregon. Okay. And I'm going to go Oregon based off talent. Oregon's class is a lot more talented than USC's right now. USC's really young. And I'm going to go... So that's really the only reason I'm going Oregon. It's just pure talent. I think they'll just beat them. I think right now... It won't matter about coaching or anything like that. I think Oregon just straight up and down is just more talented. Is the way I look at it. I don't know who plays where in that game or even if they play each other, but that's what I'm going with.
Okay, I would maybe get on the train with Oregon if they didn't have a first-year head coach because Cristobal just left. I'm actually going to go to Utah.
That's a good pick.
I like Utah. I like what I saw last year in the bowl game with Ohio State. They played that game to the very end. It was a great game. I'm going to go with them. They actually played Florida week 1 in the Swamp.
Yeah.
But luckily, I don't know if Florida's that great. And with a first-year head coach, they might not be very good early in the year. Utah have an easier game because if it was later at the Swamp, it'd be a little more cause for concern. But I'm going to go Utah. I think USC's time is next year.
Yeah.
I think it's 2024 and they're leaving, so they'll have 2 more seasons in the Pac-12. So maybe USC's next year.
Okay. Jada said, "Why do I suck at fantasy baseball? Because you're in the league draft better, and you're also in the league with like the 3 best fantasy players in probably United States. So, and then Emma said, "We love Utah. Go Utah.
Yeah, she likes Utah.
Go Utes, baby. All right. Moving on. Big Ten. I think this is the most obvious one besides the ACC.
Yeah.
We love Clemson ACC, baby, I tell you. Okay. Yeah. I think it's Ohio State. I think they probably have up and down the most talented roster in the country. What do you got?
Yeah, I have Ohio State. They might be my natty pick this year. I like CJ Stroud a lot, and I like that Jackson Smith guy. He's really, really good wide receiver. A lot of people think Michigan has a chance. I'm going to tell you no. I don't think Michigan's going to have a chance to win it this year. Unless if they beat Ohio State at Ohio State, then they definitely deserve it. But not happening. So I'm going to Ohio State.
Okay. All right. Cameron said, "How do you feel about O'Neal Cruz?"
He's like future star, I think.
Yeah.
He's got everything it takes. As long as I think the Pirates get rid of him.
That's what I was about to say. He needs to get away from the Pirates, and then he'll be a star.
They'll get rid of him. He don't have to worry about getting away from them. They'll get away from him for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, they'll pretend like he's bad and trade him for nothing to probably the Yankees or somebody.
Yeah.
Or the Dodgers.
Going into our final team, or our final conference, the Big 12. Jake, I'll let you start off here with the Big 12.
Big 12's kind of a weird one. I want to say Oklahoma, but I don't know if Venables will have the framework to get it done year 1. I also want to take Texas, but I don't want to be the one that takes them and then they lose to Kansas again. So
that's so bad. I forgot they did that.
I know. I can't believe that people don't let that go. Like I said that wrong. People let that go. I feel like that should be a bigger thing.
Is awful.
They are terrible at football, but they won in basketball. So I'm going to go on a limb. I might agree and go Baylor.
Go Baylor. Okay.
I'm not as well educated on the Big 12. I want to take Texas really bad, but I'm not going to. They're one of those teams that fall in the category where I think they're good, but I'll never pick them until they show me they can do it again. Yeah. That's why I'm not taking them. So I'll go Baylor. But Oklahoma State is a sleeper, I think.
Okay.
But I'll go Baylor.
That's how I feel about Oregon in the playoffs. Is I want to pick them in there, but I'll never do it until I get in there. Yeah, I'm going Texas. I'm gonna go Texas.
Okay, you'll do it.
I think Quinn Ewers has an absolute showing against Alabama. He don't beat them, but he makes it awesome. Okay. He has a great game. Like I'm talking, what I mean by a great game is 10 points. Like I think Alabama beats him by 10. I think it's close.
Oh, okay. Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think Quinn Edwards throws for a lot of yards. Has good. I think when you get out, I think Quinn Edwards will win that Big 12. I think they'll have a couple of losses. I think the Big 12 will be really bad this year, actually.
Yeah.
But he has really good wide receivers to throw to. The biggest question mark for me for Texas is their coach. How good is Steve Smirnoff?
Yeah.
That's really my biggest question because they have all the talent in the world. So that's
You're making me want to take them. I want to go back and take them. I just don't know. I hope they're good. I want to see Texas good again because I think it'd be funny because everyone hates them for like kind of half no reason. I get they're like I always say they're back, but I mean a lot of fans say they're back.
Yeah.
It's what it is. And plus they're a big brand, so I like to see them be good again.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna mention something. If you have like sports questions, save them for the end because at the end we allow you guys and we'll answer any questions you guys got. So, but I am gonna read these last few comments. So here you go. So, Karis, I don't know if you heard, but Treadway's the new head coach. A lot of us isn't playing next year because of it. Wow. I like Treadway. He was cool. Maybe as a head coach, I get that, but I really like Coach Treadway a lot. Emma said, "Go Bears." Jada said, "Wait, Coach Treadway is the GOAT though." And Cameron said, "Nah, I like him as a person, not as a coach." I could see that. I really like Coach Treadway though. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna comment on that, but I really do like Coach Treadway a lot. All right. Now moving on to UFC. I didn't try to jump the gun earlier.
Yeah.
RDA versus Rafael Fiziev was this past week. It was it's a competitive fight, and then Fiziev just shadow rammed him right there in round 5, just one-tapped him, obliterated him. So, I mean, what is your reaction on this fight here? What do you take from this fight? What did you learn?
I learned that Fiziev can go a good hard 5 rounds. They didn't keep up a crazy pace, but he also is very hard to take down. But he's lucky he's in lightweight where there's not many people that's going to try it.
Yeah.
There's only a handful that would maybe be able to take him down. So I think he's got good hands. His power remains in 5 rounds, and RDA is not easy to knock down and finish like that.
Yeah,
It doesn't happen
really
often. Yeah, but it was 5 rounds. RDA is old. I like Fiziev more than I did coming into the fight. I kind of was saying he's overrated. I still don't think he's going to be that good, perennial, title contender. But I still think he'll get a shot one day, and he might win it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think him and Gaethje is the fight to make. We're probably going to talk about that later, maybe. I don't know. But
we are.
Him and Gaethje makes a lot of sense. They need to fight.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think Ross. I learned. I'm going to talk about RDA a little bit here. A lot of people I saw some people saying maybe RDA should retire now and stuff like that. I completely disagree. And I don't think he should retire, not because I don't think he's not going to work in for a title shot. I get that. There's plenty of money for him to still make. I mean, Rafael Fiziev's a top guy. That's a top dude.
Yeah.
And you went 5 rounds with him until he just got clipped. I mean, it is what it is. You won a round off the guy. And it's not like it was a fluke round. You beat him in that round. I mean, you were tagging him up. You were. And you stood, and he's debatably one of the best strikers in that whole division. So RDA can still make money. A lot of fun fights out there for him, and we're going to get to that, and that's going to lead me into our next thing. Who do you think either of these guys should fight next? I'm going to start off with RDA. And I think the logical fight, I got 2 fights. I got what I want to see and what I think makes sense. What I think makes sense is Tony Ferguson. I think RDA and Tony Ferguson's a great matchup. If Tony's not going up to 170, I think Tony and RDA is a great matchup. That's so much fun. That's fireworks. And I think that also kind of puts one probably in getting into that retirement stage, and it makes the other one continue and have more money and have more fun fights, in my opinion. 2, the fight that I want to see, and I think this would make sense too, but maybe it only makes sense in my brain because I don't see anyone else talking about it. And I've been saying this for a while, and that's RDA and Conor McGregor. And I know RDA just lost to Fiziev, so why would they do that? Well, they did Conor versus Cowboy. So why not do RDA can headline with Conor easily. He could headline with Conor. He's going to bring in Brazil fans. You have the history of Conor McGregor and RDA and about that whole matchup when Conor was going up to get 2 belts. There's history with it. It makes sense to me, and I would love to get that fight. And as long as Conor McGregor don't throw, it should be a win for Conor McGregor and get him back in the win column, and that's what we want to see as MMA fans. If you're an MMA fan, you want Conor McGregor to win his next fight, as long as it's not just something ridiculous. And then moving on, Rafael Fiziev, I want him to face Justin Gaethje. He ended up calling him out in the post-fight press conference, like after the fights, he did calling him out and say he wants Justin Gaethje. I think that's
He
awesome.
messed up.
He should have done it.
He should have done it on the mic.
Did you know he has a history of doing that? His last 3
Yeah,
callouts.
it's his gimmick.
Yeah, I didn't know that. But either way, Fiziev needs to fight. I think he's either going to get Justin Gaethje or Beneil Dariush, and then whoever he doesn't get out of those two, then that's who I think Gamrot's going to get the other one. So that's the way I look at it. So I would I think the better matchups are Gaethje, Fiziev, and then Dariush and Gamrot. I think those are the best matchups. And then you take the winners and probably fight each other for a belt. Because Gamrot versus Fiziev, talk about fought.
Too soon, I think. I would think they should. They already messed up with Sarukian and Gamrot. That should have been saved as well.
Well, I agree. But Gamrot and Fiziev for a title elimination bout is what should
Yeah. Yeah, if they both win. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
All right, who you got for the next two guys? You already said Gaethje, so who you got for RDA?
I would like to see RDA and Tony. I think that is the most likely because I don't know if Conor. No one knows. Conor's a wild card.
Yeah.
No one knows what he's going to do. He might be boxing next year. Don't want to see that, but yeah, I think Tony makes the most sense. I would actually be excited for that fight because I think it's very interesting. Because I think RDA could take him down. I don't know if Tony could submit him or whatever, but I think it'd be an interesting fight on the feet too.
Yeah. Okay. Ortega versus Yair Rodriguez. What is your predictions for that this weekend?
I'm gonna say Ortega kind of mauls him. I think because Holloway took down Yair 3 times.
Yeah.
I looked it up earlier. I'm pretty sure it's 3.
Yep.
3. He was 3 for 5, so he only missed twice. Holloway's not known for his ground game necessarily. I think Ortega, as long as he doesn't turn into a human punching bag like he can sometimes, because Yair's good. He's a really good striker. He struck with Holloway well.
Yes.
Holloway has a good chin. But, I think Ortega's got it. Then I think the winner of that should probably fight Josh Emmett for the title elimination belt.
I got Brian Ortega in decision. I kind of agree with you. I think there's more options for Brian Ortega to win. I do think if there's going to be a finish in this fight, it'll be Brian Ortega by submission. In my opinion, he has the second best jiu-jitsu in all of UFC. That might be
good.
Might be a stretch, but he latches up stuff so fast. It's crazy. And if Volkanovski wasn't a superhuman, he's a champ right now.
He loses. Yeah.
So that's why I'm going Ortega. Really, jiu-jitsu. Yeah. It's just a bad matchup for Yair, and also Ortega has a crazy good chin. And Ortega, he's not like he's a slouch on the feet either. It's not like he can't handle himself. So
he doesn't block his face well, but
there's very few people it seems like in featherweight that block their face well. So
it's weird.
Yeah,
there's a lot of guys.
They're all very similar. Yeah, it's odd in featherweight. Okay, and then we're gonna do a super early prediction. This fight got announced not too long ago. Bell Muhammad versus Sean Brady. What is your super early prediction for this fight, Jake?
Sean Brady is my super early prediction. It's interesting because he's a wrestler, is he not? Like a really good one?
Yes, he's a very good wrestler.
Bilal is a wrestler.
Yeah, I guess.
So, I'll take Sean Brady by however he wants. But I think Bilal Muhammad might put up a better fight than people think because he is on roids. And when you're on roids, you get a good advantage.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a super competitive fight. I think we're going to see a lot of rolling. But I'm going to go Sean Brady in decision here. I think he'll have the better of the wrestling. Only thing that scares me a little bit, it scares me a tad, is that I think there's a good chance this is a stand-up fight at the end of the day.
I'm okay with that, though.
And we haven't seen Bell Muhammad stand up in a while. And Sean Brady's stand-up is kind of weird, too. It's not like it's elite stuff or anything. But he outstruck Michael Chiesa. So when you outstrike Michael Chiesa, it gives me a little bit more confidence. I haven't seen Bell Muhammad striking in a little bit, but the last time we saw it, Leon Edwards was making him look like a dum-dum. And I get it, Leon Edwards is a lot better striking than both of those guys. But I'm just going to go with the younger guy. Maybe I tell you, man, it wouldn't shock me, though, watching Bell Muhammad go across the octagon and take him down.
Oh, no.
I mean, I picked against Bell Muhammad the last 4 or 3 fights he's been in. So
me too.
And this is not like maybe a couple of the other fights was because I don't like Bell Muhammad, but this one's literally I'm picking Sean Brady, regardless if I like Bell Muhammad or not. I'm going Sean Brady. I like prospects too, so maybe that is a little biased, but that's what I'm going with. I'm going decision. All right, moving on to MLB. Pete Alonso has entered the home run derby again. And so my question to you is, does he three-peat?
I'm going to say yeah. I don't know who else is in it, but he has, the thing about home run derby, like with Shohei, everyone thought he would win it last year.
Yeah.
It takes a efficient non-tiring swing because Shohei has a kind of funny swing.
Yeah.
Like Freddie Freeman's kind of an uppercut swing, and Pete Alonso's swing is so simple and just he drives the ball. It doesn't take much energy.
Made for home run derbies.
Yeah, I like Pete Alonso in it. Only thing the Mets will win.
Yeah.
Derby.
I like the three-peat too. I think Pete Alonso gets it done. Okay, something else. Dodger Stadium workers are about to go on strike. It could happen any minute now. It's because the work conditions at Dodger Stadium are garbage, supposedly. So my thoughts and opinions on this is, dude, Dodgers figure it out, man. Aren't they about to host a All-Star game?
That's why they're on strike.
That is bad. That's real bad. I mean, it's just awful. Dodgers, man, I tell you just gotta figure it out. Don't be a trash can, I tell you.
There was earlier this year, a opposing team came there, I think, and was complaining about the smell of rat pee and stuff. I think that was what happened. I might be wrong, but something like that happened, I thought, with the Dodgers. So
just figure it out, man. Figure it out.
Yeah, it is in LA, so I mean, par for the course. But
yeah.
Whatever.
All right. Moving on.
Wait. I got a good one. I got a good topic.
Okay.
Sorry, real quick. So, LA people, media people, like the people that write for the LA Times for the baseball, they came out and made a bunch of articles today about how Freddie Freeman is like kind of, I guess you could say, too in touch with his emotions. He's being too emotional. What are your thoughts on the LA writers saying these things?
I mean, if I was the LA guys, I'd be kind of happy because he's like one of the superstars that you're having your team that have not been hurt yet. Like,
that is true.
So, like, I mean, you gotta show him some kind of respect. I mean, the dude stayed out there when your whole team that's been loyal to you is just. I get injuries happen. You can't help them, but something in my body tells me you can sometimes, and I'm just throwing it out there. Okay, we've all played sports. Typically, no matter how bad you're hurt, if you really want to, you can go out there and play, unless it's like a dire IL injury. I'm just saying. Freddie Freeman's still out there. The rest of your team is not. You gotta give him some sort of credit. I would stop worrying about. Every day. You're gonna have to accept that he liked the Braves more than you guys. It is what it is. Maybe if you fix your stadium, he might like you guys a little more. Just throwing it out there, Dodgers.
True.
But moving on. Alvarez is to the IL. That's bad. He's getting moved to the IL. He's hurt now.
Alvarez. Oh, Yordan.
Yeah, Yordan Alvarez.
Yeah.
He's hurt.
He's on the fantasy team.
Yeah. Does this hurt his MVP race?
No, because it's only for 10 days. Okay. He'll be back. Yeah. And so he has like a recurring hand injury. Probably should have rested it a little more before. Plus, he's a DH, so you're using your hands all the time. It'd be hard to hit it if you have a bad hand. So he needs to take the time off, and he'll be good, I hope.
And that is just like, if you're going to get hurt, perfect timing to be at the All-Star break. Because there's no games going on. No one can catch you. There's no games going on. So good for him. The All-Star break's about to start up. Well, not good for him, but you know what I mean.
Well, lucky.
Yeah, lucky for him, I guess. Speaking of MVPs, let's get into our MVPs for American League National League and our Cy Youngs for American National League. We do this every podcast, and practically what this is, if the season ended today, these would be the MVPs and Cy Youngs in our opinion. We'll start off with MVP American League. We were just talking about him, in my opinion. Yordan Alvarez. He's batting a .306 with 26 home runs, and he leads major leagues in OPS at 1.058. I mean, he's pooping all over the ball. He's a stud right now. If the season ended, Yordan Alvarez, DH for the Astros, would be my MVP. Do you agree?
I agree. One of the biggest all-star snubs of the past few years. He is 10 times better hitter than Shohei Ohtani right now at the DH spot. Yep. I get Shohei does both, but
don't matter.
Just let him pitch. He ain't been the best hitter this year for the All-Star team.
He's pitched fine. Why can't he just... I just don't get why he just can't just pitch. Good. Just pitch.
He'll come in and pitch, too, and it's one of those things where Yordan, Houston Astros fans, I get, like, everyone loves Shohei, apparently, but they should have voted him Yordan in, man. It sucks.
Yeah, I'm starting to lean towards the thing. I kind of hope they get rid of fan voting. I know, like, some people are really against that, but I'm kind of tired of watching the people that don't deserve it just get in there, just get popularity.
The reason I'm not going to say they should get rid of it is because All-Star games are not, in my opinion, not that important for your Hall of Fame voting. It's more like first team All Pros.
I agree.
First team All MLB is not fan voted, and if you are the best, you will get in. That's what really matters. But I agree too that fan voting's kind of went a little weird. Yeah. It's not fair to the players.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. But if you're a fan though, at the same time, you want to look forward to watching the best of the best in the All-Star game.
That is true.
And you're not going to get to see that when you have dummies voting 5 times a day for just their favorite team starting lineup. I mean, it is what it is. It might be awesome for them to watch it, but like teams like New York, teams like both the New York teams, Atlanta, Boston.
Yeah, Atlanta, dude, real fast. Atlanta had Adam Duvall with his 6.0 something OPS in the finalists. That's bad.
Like
I was like, I'm not supporting that. I call out Atlanta fans for that one.
Yankees, Mets, Braves, Boston, Giants, Dodgers, all the big market teams. If you're remotely good, you're going to be considered, and it is what it is. The only thing I don't get is how Tim Anderson got in over Bogarts. I don't even know how that happened.
He's been hurt, I thought, right, for like a while.
Tim Anderson?
Maybe not. Yeah, I thought he got hurt.
Yeah, well, he's not even like. If you go look at the stats, he don't even really. It's not really close between him and Bogarts right now. And
neither of them are great defenders either. I don't think so.
No, but Tim Anderson has a lot more errors than Bogarts does right now, and it's just kind of like Tim Anderson he led the majors in errors for a little bit period of time. It's just like, dog, come on. But whatever, it might be just my Boston fan coming out of me. We got kind of off track a little bit right there. Okay, so MVP for National League, I got Paul Goldschmidt. He's batting a 340. Jeez Louise, I thought that said 310. 340 average with 19 home runs and a 1.034 OPS. He's starting to run away with it at the National League. Bryce Harper, I think, in my opinion, is probably the closest thing to him. But even then, dude, he's been
hurt. He's out for until September probably. Yeah. So he ain't gonna win it.
Yeah, he's just Paul Goldschmidt's starting to run away with it. And as long as he don't have a bad second half, he's gonna win it. And good for Paul Goldschmidt.
Probably. Yeah, I have Paul Goldschmidt as well right now. But I'll tell you, Braves fan, I'm a Braves fan. Yeah. Austin Riley just cracked the 900 OPS. He's on the rise, batting 280 now. Has like second or third in the National League in home runs. He's a sleeper pick like last year.
Yeah.
So don't be surprised if he's a little higher. But I think Goldschmidt probably, if he coasts to it, he'll probably win. Just don't play bad.
Yeah.
And you'll win.
All right, Cy Young for the American League. Wow. I put my Cy Young for the National League on the American League, and I put my American League one on the National League thing. But either way, American League Cy Young, I got Shane McClanahan. He 1.78 ERA. He leads the majors in strikeouts, which you love, at 141, and then 0.81 WHIP. Dude's a machine. I think he's the best pitcher in all of baseball right now.
Oh, yeah.
And he is really, really good. And really good year for him after last year. Last year he was still good, don't get me wrong, but he's a lot better this year.
A little too young.
Yeah. And he, like you said, you just mentioned it, too young last year. He's still young this year. Tampa Bay has a really good pitcher on their hands as long as they can keep him there. Who you got for the American League?
Yeah, I agree. Shane McClanahan's probably up there with the best pitchers in baseball.
Yeah,
I think he will win it this year. I don't really see him falling off for Tampa. They just know how to. They know how to like develop a pitcher up there.
Yeah,
you can give them that. They don't have any money or fans, but they can develop a good pitcher. So.
All right. And then if you didn't think me and Jake were going to disagree, here you go. Cy Young for the National League. I got Tony Gonsolin. He has a 1 point. Let me make sure I read this right for you, Jake, just so you know. A 1.62 ERA, 80 strikeouts, and a 0.80 WHIP. I think he leads the majors in WHIP and ERAs. I don't know about WHIP, but I know it is ERAs. And also, I'm pretty sure he's still undefeated in his record. I don't know that for a fact either. But that's my Cy Young for the National League. Jake, go ahead and say it.
Mine is Sandy Alcantara. It's not a hot take at all. Asking most baseball fans that aren't Dodger fans, they will tell you Sandy Alcantara is probably debatably better than Shane McClanahan. He's not. I don't think he's second. That's not. It's close.
I don't think it's close between Shane McClanahan. I don't think Tony Gonsolin and Shane McClanahan are close.
Well, no, I can tell you they're not. No, they're not close at all. But Sandy Alcantara has like a 1.7 something ERA. He might have lower now because he shot the Mets yesterday. He's pitched like probably 40 to 50 more innings than Gonsolin. That's what really wins it for me. And his ERA and WHIP are barely worse with 40 to 50 more innings pitched. And he has a million more strikeouts. You say strikeouts don't matter, but to the voters, they do. How young voters, they do matter. So that's why I'm picking him.
All right. Moving on, NBA, there's nothing to talk about. And then we're going to go into NFL, which will be our last thing we'll talk about on paper today. So if you guys have anything you want to add to the comments and ask us any questions, ask them now, and we will answer them. But NFL, Baker Mayfield is getting traded to the Panthers. You called it on the last podcast.
I called it.
So give me your thoughts about this, Jake.
I like the move because he only had to give up a 5th-round pick for a decently. He has some upside. I think he could end up being way better than they even think this year. So I like the move because he's a big upgrade over Sam Darnold. And Matt Corral, they can make him kind of just sit back and learn because he's not ready. I would be shocked if he sees a snap this year unless the other two get hurt. But I like the move for him. Big upgrade.
Yeah, I like the move too. Baker Mayfield fits him there, fits him well there. And what they even have to give up? I didn't see what they.
A 5th-round pick. That's it. That's a steal.
That's a steal. Yeah,
Baker
that's a steal.
is not that bad at all. He is better than that.
No, that's a steal. Browns kind of got robbed a little bit there. Surely they could. Surely there was better offers than that.
Well, they got screwed because they told everybody we don't want him no more. So you're not supposed to give up a lot of stuff.
We talked about that. We talked about that could be a
when
problem
they messed up. Cowboys do the same crap with Amari Cooper. We don't want him. Browns getting him for a 5th-round pick. He's worth more than that. It's stupid. I don't know why they do that.
Yeah, it's just
doesn't make any sense.
bad. I will say this: MLB, something they have over NFL is that they're like GMs and stuff. When they're wanting to trade somebody, they will not give anything else, dude. You gotta. Usually, the team that gets a really good player usually loses the trade through prospects and stuff because you just gotta give so much for a player. But then in the NFL, it's just like we just
salary cap issues mess with the NFL a lot because you're a salary cap.
That's true. All right. Okay, so let's see. We got Emma and Jada going back and forth here. No questions, but we're gonna see what they got to say here. Okay, so where to start? Okay, Emma said Psh, they're fresh Freeman haters. I'm talking about Freddie Freeman earlier. Okay, Jada said an emoji. Emma said, Jada, did you read the? Okay, that's books. Okay, then Emma said, oh, drama in the podcast. Jada said fight. Jada said Jake bought planned brownies last night.
Who said that?
Jada.
Oh, yeah.
And then now they're talking about clothes or something. Jesus. Okay. Jake, you got anything, any other topics to add before we wrap it up?
I don't. Well, I guess it's Braves related. They made a trade today. They sent Drew Waters, their former No. 1 prospect, and 2 other low pitchers to get the 35th pick in the draft. Which I like that trade because our farm system sucks now because we had to trade it all the way from Matt Olson and Michael Harris is up. So I like the trade.
35th round pick. That's interesting.
35th overall pick. It's barely in the second round.
Okay. I got you. I'll actually bring up some since we're talking about the draft a little bit here. MLB draft is coming up. I saw who Boston was projected to get, and they're supposed to get the rocker dude, Kareem Rocker or whatever.
Kumar Rocker, that's who the Braves are trying to. They think the Braves are going to try to trade up and get him because he's, the Mets really messed up. Well, that's what they do, but they messed up not signing him last year. I get he had a shoulder issue, but he's still like a really good pitcher.
Yeah, right now he's projected to drop to where we want him, but if you guys trade up and get him, then it is what it is. But we might be able.
He might go sooner than that.
Yeah,
he's good.
Yeah, Boston Braves might be in a trade then soon. Maybe you try to get our spot or something. We're like in the low 20s or something like that. So, but yeah, that'll do it for us today, guys. We appreciate you stopping in. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Subscribe to Boogie Gaming if you're not subscribed to that channel yet. Join the Discord, do all that stuff, and appreciate you guys joining in. Bye.